Could I thank you very much for the warmest of welcomes, and it's been my joy. I've been looking forward to coming to this event since I knew that I was going to be coming. And I've had such a wonderful evening so far, and the conversations that you have over dinner. I've met new constituents of mine. Where are you? Yes. And I've met, people. My parents lived in Orkney for a while, so I was chatting about that. And I'm from the northeast of Scotland originally. I was born in Dufftown, and a lot of my friends and family worked in farming and fishing, so I was sitting next to Jonathan and learning all about his fish business. So the events and the formalities are absolutely important in why we're here, but it's the conversations. And what I've seen from the short film that you've shown is the amazing stories that come out from the conversations that you, in all the wonderful work that you do for us and with us in this city, are just so inspiring. And before, if I may, Brian, before I give my formal remarks, I was first elected a councillor way back in 1999, some 10 years before street pastors became street pastors, and by that time I had left the council. But I'm very aware of the valuable work that you do, and I'm sorry that I didn't have the chance to ask you this question when I arrived, but have you ever come and spoken to the council, all 63 of us, when we meet monthly at a formal council meeting? Because I would very much like to extend an invitation for you to do that. Come and speak to us every month when we meet as the formal 63 elected members, chaired by the Lord Provost. We have a session just before the formal proceedings start, and we invite, it used to be called prayers, but it's now called reflection, but I do strongly believe that not just myself, but my fellow councillors and those present at the meeting, which is also webcast, would very much appreciate having an insight and hearing from you and the wonderful work that you do. So with your permission, I would like to ask the Lord Provost's permission to extend that invitation. I'm sure he'll be fine with it. I'll get on with what I'm here to do and give the formal greetings from our Lord Provost. I really am delighted to be with you here this evening and to have the opportunity just to convey the gratitude of the Lord Provost, the Council and indeed the City of Edinburgh for the important work that you all do. And I know that this work is also supported not just by ourselves as the City of Edinburgh Council, but also by Police Scotland's Edinburgh Division. And as you well know, over the years, the service that you provide and the reach that you extend has grown from initially what I understand have been 4 churches and a handful of volunteers to now a partnership of more than 35 churches and more than 55 volunteers. And I was learning through the conversations I was having over dinner and the questions I was asking about how this team setup works and how volunteers each give up an evening a month and work between 10 and 4 every Friday and 3 Saturdays per month. Now, in addition to being Depute Lord Provost, I sit on a number of the council's planning committees, planning, licensing boards, City of Edinburgh, International Conference Centre. And again, I'm going to make an ask. I'd very much like an opportunity to come out and see the work that you do sometime, if I may. I'd love to come out and see the work that you do and go out with one of your teams. I'm not telling you anything you already know, that you as street pastors believe strongly in the sanctity of human life. And this explains, I believe, why volunteers go out in the late and the early hours of darkness, helping so many people who are often sadly judged by the situations they find themselves in. Street pastors here in Edinburgh, again, thank you. As you all know, you are doing this work. You routinely listen, help, and care, and provide sustenance and support for so many people on our night streets, doing so without judgment and offering kindness and unconditional help. And whether that's in the form of providing hot drinks, clothing, or signposting, caring for an injured or an intoxicated reveller, or securing the safety of an isolated and vulnerable young woman, you as Edinburgh street pastors have, over the last year alone, given practical assistance on over 3,000 occasions. And that is hugely amazing, hugely impressive, and again, I cannot find the words to adequately express the gratitude of myself, the Lord Provost, and the Council. So thank you so much for those efforts. It really is a true credit, a real credit to the diligence, to the mission and personal efforts and commitment of you and the pastor teams. It's also wonderful to see and hear that so many people willingly give up their time, skills and energy to make a positive difference to our fellow citizens in the city centre at weekends. It goes without saying that city centre nighttime economies, whether it's Edinburgh, Glasgow or elsewhere, can be enormously challenging, dealing with what can be large volumes of visitors simply enjoying our hospitality, retail and attraction sectors. The work you do in assisting people pursuing these pursuits, if you like, do help to mitigate and prevent incidents of antisocial behaviour, injuries or other incidents on our pavements, our curbs, alleyways and roadways. You help and assist those most vulnerable who routinely spend nights on our damp, cold and somewhat unsafe streets. And you also prevent people from becoming seriously injured or subject to maltreatment or requiring serious hospital or other interventions. And this, obviously, can only be a good thing for them and for our public services. It's immeasurable what you do. It really is immeasurable. Clearly, the quiet and dignified work and interventions of street pastors is fantastic. And again, I offer my gratitude to your board, your staff, trainees, volunteers, and everyone who gives their time to assisting those who find themselves in challenging or unsafe situations at night time. I would also wish to thank the partners involved in supporting the street pastors, in particular Police Scotland Edinburgh Division, the City Council's own nighttime teams, the Ascension Trust, and the many others who raise funds or donate to your vital work. So tonight not only allows us an opportunity to recognise the work of street pastors, it also allows us to mark the graduation of new volunteers, each of whom has completed approximately 35 hours of training plus 2 supervised patrols. And so for those of you who are about to become fully fledged street pastors, please accept my warmest heartfelt congratulations and all good wishes for the future. And I'm sure that you will make your contribution to the work that's already been done that improves the scope of the current street pastor service. Finally, on behalf of all of the peoples of Edinburgh, I wish the street pastors and graduating street pastors continued success as you move forward together and continue to make the positive, invaluable difference to people's lives and to our nighttime city safety. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to address you this evening. Thank you.